Ask yourself this question real quick. Why do you do what you do? Why did you pick the business venture that you picked? Is it because of something you saw on social media? Is it because somebody else was doing it and they were making money? Are you following somebody else's dream? Because I was guilty of that. I was 100% guilty of chasing after other people's dreams and aspirations. And I was basing it off of social media, what's making money, what's most popular, what's trending. Or I'll be like, oh, they're doing that, like I could do that and make a lot of money doing that. Or, you know, maybe I should hop on that bandwagon and hop on that service and, you know, invest in that. But it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was because I was chasing the dollar. It wasn't because I've always wanted to be a photographer. I always wanted to do whatever. I was doing things because I wanted to make money. And a lot of us can be guilty of that. A lot of us are guilty of looking at something and telling ourselves, you know what, I want to do that because they're doing it and they're making a lot of money off of it. But when you do it, it might not be the same. You might not get the same fruits. You might not get the same money because it's not meant for you. It wasn't meant for you to do. And I had to come to that realization because ultimately it wasn't my dream. This whole time I thought it was my dream and it wasn't. I had the skill and the talent, but I was tapping into the wrong thing with that skill and talent. I walked away from everything that I thought I was supposed to be. And for some weird reason, I have no regrets. And here's why. The number one reason why I walked away from the beauty industry as a service worker is because I felt like I was idolizing money. I was chasing money, and I felt like it was my God at a point. And it started to feel unhealthy because of the things I was trying to do to get that. Whether it was, this is a part of another reason, whether it was investing in new services. So I had a plethora of services that I performed. And originally it was supposed to only be hair and makeup. Well, really just makeup. And then I went to beauty school and then I got into hair. So that's how that came about. But from then on, it was hair, makeup, photography. I think I did brows, facials. I even did head spa. I ordered a bed. I paid a lot of money for that bed because it was trending. And I thought, you know, well, that's going to make me money. And it wasn't fulfilling. I felt like I was doing it for the wrong reasons. It wasn't because I genuinely loved to do head spa services. I just did it because it was trending and I thought I was going to make money doing it. And because of that, I felt like the love for it wasn't there and it became dreadful. So because I was so worried about how much money I was going to make, it led me to do things that I didn't even enjoy doing. And it all really started with makeup. I started even not liking makeup, and I really think it's because I monetized it. I loved makeup. I was the 2016 queen, you know, like I was doing my makeup all the time, full face, powder, highlighter, cut crease, glitter, everything. And that's the part of makeup that I love. But I feel like once I started to monetize it and make money off of it, that love kind of disappeared. And I still love the art. I still to this day love the art of makeup. That will never go away because I do love makeup. But I think trying to make money off of it and get clients off of it was probably not a good idea. Something else that bothered me was comparing myself to other makeup artists around me or other service providers around me. That was eating me up, guys. Like I was comparing my clientele to their clientele or my work to their work. And it just became like not competition, but really just comparing myself and feeling inadequate. And it took me a long time to realize, wait, I am talented. I do have the skills. Why am I comparing myself to this person? Everybody is going to have their own look, and people will book that accordingly. And I didn't understand that until it was too late, basically. So in the midst of me doing that, I was really hard on myself. And ultimately, it was never about the other people. It was about how I felt about myself and my work. And then it was the why. Why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel inadequate? and it just wasn't fair to me. So that was another reason why I decided not to do it anymore. That's gonna lead me to my next point, which is it was all ego driven. I don't know if you guys can hear me because I have the AC on for the kids, but I was being driven by my ego. It was about being number one. It was about, I want to be the best everything. I wanted to be the best braider. I wanted to be the best makeup artist. I wanted to be the best brow person. Like, I wanted to be the best at everything. And because of that, I spent so much time educating myself and soaking in so much information. It got to a point where I could look at something and download the information in my brain and then perform that service that good, because I was so dedicated to, I want to be number one. So as of April of last year, this is when I was pregnant with my last child, and I feel like that's what really prompted me to be like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm good. It had its run and I had fun, but I'm really good on this. So I started to dread getting clients. This was before I got pregnant. I started to dread getting clients. I was like dreading doing the service, and that's when I knew, I think I was doing somebody's makeup. I don't remember who. And I was like, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, at that moment, I knew I need to stop what I'm doing, because these people don't deserve half work. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm closing up shop. This is it. Like, once I started to feel like I don't want to do this anymore, and it was manifesting in real time, that's when I knew it's time to walk away. Like, it's not worth it anymore. Also, I was very scatterbrained with ideas, you guys. I was getting into everything. I was spending money on everything. It didn't feel natural. It felt very chaotic. It was just like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, and I wasn't focusing on one thing. I wasn't perfecting my craft in one area. It was like I perfect something and then I move on to the next thing, and before you know it, I'm offering like 6 different services, and I'm like, wait, this is like too much, because you got to think about the products you have to invest in, the tools you got to invest in, just more money being spent. And it was like, okay, I'm doing way too much. Why am I doing this? But it all came back to, I'm doing this because I'm trying to make money. Like, I was very money hungry and very like, you know, money was number one. Like, this is the goal and I need to get there. I don't know how. I will do whatever it takes to get that. And it was very exhausting. I became exhausted and burnt out. And also with being burnt out was content creating on top of doing the service, on top of, you know, giving my all to my clients, and having to record everything, having to post everything, promote myself, and, you know, do trends and do skits. And it was just like, I signed up to be a service provider, not a freaking content creator. And being a content creator and a service provider at the same time, no. It was getting too much. And at that point, I was like, something has to give, because you either book or you don't. Like, I was at that point where I was like, I don't want to be a content creator on top of providing a service, because I felt like that was unfair to me. A lot of service providers feel that, because it's like, I just want to do the service. I want to be able to post a quick little picture of before and after, or hey, this is what I did today, and keep it pushing. But it was like, no, you got to do this skit, you got to do this reel, you got to, and it's like, I don't want to do that because it's too much. And like I said, I didn't love it enough to do that. I didn't love it enough to really hold that thought. To conclude this video, my last reason, not my last reason, but the last thing I'm going to say in this video is that I also wanted to spend more time with my kids. I feel like when I was, you know, doing my business, I feel like I was so in my phone. I was so, you know, what's the next trend? What else is trending? What's new? What's a new service that people are getting? It was taken away from my home. I feel like I was slacking off as a wife, as a mom, and just slacking off in really just taking care of myself, because I was so invested in my business and money and what's trending. What do I need to buy next? What do I need to do next? What reel should I post? Or, you know, doing work for free sometimes because I wanted to promote my work and I wanted to do the reels and the skits and the, you know, like the pictures and all that stuff. At that point, it was so much burnout at the end of the day. And ultimately, I was like, this isn't for me. Because if it was, it wouldn't feel this hard. I feel like we all go through stuff in life, and there's a journey for everything that we do. I wholeheartedly understand that, and I feel that. But when it takes away from your well-being, when it takes away from your home, when it takes away from your mental health, at that point, no, I don't think that it's meant for you. Because there's one thing to endure because it's meant to happen for you, and it's supposed to happen for you, and it's your God-given destiny. But when it becomes to a point where you're burnt out and you're like, this isn't even worth it anymore, it's not even worth the money, then for me personally, I was like, I'm done. And people ask me like, do you miss it? And I don't want to go back. I don't want to do makeup anymore. I don't want to do hair. I don't want to do eyebrows. I don't want to do any of it. I even got my own suite last year. I made it to where I got a suite, and it still was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that desire, that feeling I had in my heart was gone. Like, it just, like, when I tell you guys, I was so done. I was like, I'm never doing this ever again. And that feeling has always been there. It lingered, and I put it off. I kept putting it off because I had kids back to back since like 2022. So I just kept putting it off. I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna give it another try. I'm gonna get a suite. Maybe if I get a suite, you know, things will change and pan out better for me. Maybe I'll like it again. And when I got my suite, it was cool for a little bit, but there was something telling me like, this is not where you're supposed to be. This is not meant for you. I know, like, I felt like since I had the talent and the skill and I was good at what I did, it was like, why not? Like, I should be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good at it. But at that point, it was like, no, you've been putting this off for so long, whether it was God telling me, like, this isn't for you, whether it was just a feeling, but it was always there. And I really, truly think after finding out I was pregnant, for me, it was just like, you know what? Like, I'm done. I have all these kids. I got 4 kids. So I'm like, I need to be a mom. I need to be present. I need to be with my children. I need to minister to my children. I need to read my Bible more. I need to pray more. I need to do so much. And there's a reason why I'm having these kids back to back. And there's a reason why God has blessed me with 4 beautiful children. And I want to see what that is. I want to see what that's about. I wanted to see, like, I need to give my time and my energy to my kids, because I also feel like they're only going to be this little once. And I refuse to miss out on anything because of a dollar, because of money, because I want to be number one. It's God and everything else. And if it's not God and everything else, it's wrong. For me, this is my personal conviction. If you have your own business, this is not to jab at anybody. This is my personal story, my personal conviction. And if you feel the same way as I do for other reasons that I stated in this video, you are not alone. It is not just you. I feel like a lot of us creators or service providers, we're all feeling it. You know, there's a lot that goes into being an entrepreneur. So anyways, I'm done ranting, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be posting a whole lot more, so stay tuned. Like and subscribe. I don't know if I should be saying that, but anyways, bye. Have a good day.
Bye.